Hi, Amal. How you doing?
Yes, nice to see you again, Felix. I'm so happy to be here today with you.
Yes. Well, Amal, thank you for being with us. Natisso family sure wants to welcome you, right? So I am Natisso's one of resource development coordinator. Hey, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me
Hmm.
today. It's a great honor
Hmm.
to, share my story because I believe that we all should be, helping families and people from our community as much as we can because I myself as an immigrant and I came with my family around 8 years ago with two kids who actually entered the school system in Virginia, Fairfax County Public Schools, and I was like not aware of anything. I was lucky to be, educated in my country enough. I'm coming from Egypt to know the English language. But even though I knew the language, I was not, very comfortable to navigate all the resources and all the community resources and the school resources. So I needed that kind of help. So I was like, okay, hey, why not? I do not use my expertise in knowing, two languages to help families who are in my place or coming new to the country or to the school system to give them my experience and also to be like, paying back to the community who welcomed me and my family in the school system and the community as well.
How were you able to help in not only your children but others as well?
Yeah, actually, I was experimenting in my children, like whatever I have been through with my children, and I was not successful to do, or it was like an obstacle for me and my children. I was keeping that in my mind to make sure that whenever I'm helping families or supporting them in anything that they need, I will be able to, either share my experience or to, advise them to do this or not to do that, or to make sure that they are asking about those resources or they are looking into the resources that have been shared with them, or if they are in a meeting, like, to make like a kind of follow-up or to make sure that they are during the meeting, they are heard and they are not intimidated or even feeling awkward because they don't know the language or they just agree because this is what the school is saying or the people who are actually holding the meeting saying. So it was a kind of like, giving them my experience and also to, make the communication better. So I do interpretations for families who speaks Arabic if it's needed to anything related to the school system, but most of the time I'm taking jobs related to special education.
So what does language access mean to you right now?
Yeah, it's simply the linking people to, or, communication to be able to communicate. So the language access is something very important because it's not only about the language. I have been able to relay the cultural differences when it comes to the culture that the people of the who speaks Arabic have, or even like the similarities in our culture, because every country has had different culture, but we can have like this common basis or common things between the culture in general. So relaying that to the people who actually work in the school system or they are dealing with the families was very important because it's not only about the language, it's about the culture and the language and what may make families more comfortable and engage with the school.
Wow, that's great. I'm glad to hear this. And so, how do families, feel right after you speak to them, you talk to them, and tell them, look, these are the resources, and this is the that what we can do. How do they feel? How do they respond? And how do their kids respond to this help that that you are giving to them? You're giving it to them.
Yeah, well, I'm fortunate that I'm playing another part in the school system as working in another office, but this office is all about offering resources.
Mm.
So it was a great experience because, as you know, as an interpreter during an IEP meeting or a specific meeting, I'm not able to share all the resources or do advocacy all the time because I'm limited to my part or role as an interpreter during the specific meeting.
Mhm.
But if later or before I can introduce myself and what
Mhm.
the other role I'm doing in the school system, or how, or to just let them know that there are out there some resources that could be helpful to remind either the team who may have new staff in the team or even the uh, people who are doing the, attending the meetings. So it have been received very well because interpreters who are coming from the same culture actually are the first thing that families will notice in the meeting. Like as soon as they see someone that they could know or looks like them,
Hmm.
it makes them feel a lot of relief and connected. And thankfully, most of the time it was very successful because families feel like I really care about them and I'm there to help and support. And I'm just breaking this, obstacle of not understanding or knowing what is going on.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And you know, when we were in that training, last month, and I was always sharing natisl.org and all these natisl resources. Have you ever had a chance, once, trying to, go through what natisl resources have? Uh, they do have a lot of information resources in the Arabic language and stuff. But have you had a chance to take a look after I know you're busy,
Yes.
but after we had, because you had, I think, training after training after training, right? So, have you ever had a chance going in there and check this resources?
Yes, actually, I have it like, I have bookmarked your page, web page, and I was like, okay, every couple days I will try to go if I have some chance to check the resources that they are available. But the good thing that I was able to share that with other interpreters who just started, to
Hmm.
do the job, or they
Hmm.
are in general interested in like, language access or to know information. And it was great for me to know that we have such an organization which is, national, and they can offer this kind of help and support. And it was a great communication, to be here in Virginia and communicating with people from North Carolina or in Texas. So it was an amazing experience, even though it was online, but it felt like we are all connected and we are all serving the same purpose, like to have people connected and they are aware of what they are actually having, especially when it comes to education, because it's one of the most important, things beside the other stuff like the medical and the
Hmm.
mental health, interpretations. But for me, it has been always education because this is personally one of my interests.
Yeah, I totally agree. And, I encourage you, just go through those resources like you have done already. And I do it myself. And actually
Nice.
I have that, that link right there every time I wake up in the morning and I open my internet and the TISA resources are there, because it
Yes.
helps us as interpreters to be able to communicate or use these resources to help other families, and that's what we want to do.
Mhm.
And that's what we want to do. That's our purpose of helping, is helping other families, to see their opportunities for their kids and their children, all these resources they have, not only for them but for the parents as well. That is great. That is great. So, before we end, Amal, is there anything you want to add, to this interview before we head out?
Well, thank you so much for having me. And
Hmm.
it's actually, and it's all is a very good resource for either families, not just, people who do the job for interpretation or translation. It's an amazing resource. And I'm glad that I had the chance to get to know that, because sometimes a lot of things are missing between the trainings or having a lot of resources, and we miss such a good resource. So I'm glad that I was aware of that resource and I
Hmm.
had the opportunity to be part of one of the trainings
Hmm.
and to share my experience, and also to get all the valuable information that was offered during the sessions, and also, knowing more the website and what you can offer. So thank you so much for what you do.
And thank you, right, for helping the community and what you do as well. Well, Mal, I hope this will not be the last time, and whenever you want to join us back, our email, so we can meet again to see how things are going, all right, with the community and what you do. So we want to thank you so much, and thank you for being with us, and that this family wants to thank you.
Are very welcome. Thank you so much.